G'day, g'day. How you going? What do you know? Don't strike a light. G'day, g'day. And how you going? Just say g'day, 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 and you'll be right.
Now we come to the portion of the service before we do our Bible study that we address some end times news and trends that are happening as it relates to Bible prophecy. And just this past week, our YouTube channel hit a milestone. We hit over 1 million views, so it's 1,13,000 some odd views right now. So, which is really cool to see what God's been doing through this YouTube channel and connecting with people all over the world. People listening to the messages, the updates, the other videos, and the gospel's getting out there. And then we're real close to hitting the 6,000 subscriber mark. So it's really cool to see what God's doing through this YouTube channel. So even though we may not see the effects here locally, but it's a global effort and what you are a part of and what we are able to do worldwide through the technology that God's blessed us with. Several interesting developments on the geopolitical landscape. Again, this past weekend, the Turkish citizens grant President Erdogan to have more power. He's got greater power and less restraints. They changed part of the Constitution so he can remain in power until 2029. He has the power to select members of his administration and the Supreme Court and do away with the prime ministership. So he's becoming more and more powerful within that country, and how many people have held him to be the Antichrist. I personally don't believe he is, but a lot of people are putting him onto that platform to be that leader. Also on another geopolitical issue, and this is going to continue, and it's always been an issue with dealing with the Palestinian Authority, but they are going to meet at the White House on May 3rd with President Trump to seek a conflict-ending deal. And their main negotiation, supposedly at this time, is to deal with the ending the conflict settlements between the Palestinians and Israel. On a side note, I would probably just pay attention to the son-in-law of Donald Trump. You know, there's something behind him, perhaps. I'm not saying that there is, but I'm just saying pay attention to what he's doing as a secret advisor, his little trips that he's made to the Middle East. Just something there, just out of curiosity. Also continuing dealing with Israel, and on the heels of the comment that we just made with the Palestinian Authority meeting with the President Trump, if the Palestinians want peace, as Netanyahu says, they need to prove it by halting payments to terrorists. So this is mentioned on Friday. The Palestinians, if they truly desire peace within Israel, then they must first come to terms and put an end to rewarding terrorism. During an interview on Fox Television on Sean Hannity's program, Netanyahu claimed that the Palestinian Authority, led by Mahmoud Abbas, has spent much of the financial aid that they receive on paying terrorists and their families at the expense of the American taxpayers. So all the fundage and the billions of dollars that are being poured in there, they're helping fund terrorism. Also, in dealing with the Middle East, an unchecked Iran could lead to the same path as North Korea, according to the Jerusalem Post. And also, speaking of North Korea, Australia is now on the watch list for North Korea to launch nuclear weapons to here in Australia. So that was a report that just came out. But this report that came out on Wednesday, how U.S. Secretary State Rex Tillerson accused Iran of arming ongoing provocations to destabilize countries in the Middle East and undermining the U.S. interest in Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. An unchecked Iran has the potential to travel the same path as North Korea and to take the world along with it, Tillerson told reporters. And so, again, this nuclear deal that was done under the Obama administration, which is an absolute disaster, it's something that needs to be overlooked and changed. But Iran has the capabilities of doing what North Korea has been doing and launching ballistic missiles with the intention to wipe Israel off the face of the map. And as we all know, it's not going to happen. God's going to protect Israel. On a technological development, maybe you've seen this report, the credit card with the fingerprint sensor revealed by MasterCard. this came out of the BBC, that a payment card featuring a fingerprint sensor had been unveiled by the credit card provider MasterCard. The rollout followed two successful trials in South Africa. The technology works in the same way as it does on our mobile phone payments. Users have their fingerprint over a sensor when making a purchase. And so the security experts said that while using the fingerprint is not foolproof, it is sensible use of biometric technology. So we're seeing more of the technology these days, and eventually, as we said before, during the tribulation period, there'll be the mark on the forehand or the forehead, where no one can buy or sell unless you have this mark. So this is getting closer and closer to that type of technology to have that in place. And also, speaking of technology, and this is our last point in the update, the U.S. power grid appears to have been hit with multiple power outages affecting San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles, out of RT website. The series of subsequent outages in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York have left commuters stranded and traffic backed up for hours Friday morning. Although the outages occurred at the same time, they say that there's no evidence that they were connected, and it's nothing but mere coincidence. But it doesn't take much for a cyber attack or an EMP, magnetic pulse, that can happen from a satellite that North Korea has, and it wipes out the entire country. It wipes out the entire grid, unless there's countries that have the protection over it. But if you knock out all the power grid, it affects all the communication, affects everything that we're all connected to all the electric stuff that we have, from our houses to the banks, ATMs. It can shut down an entire country. And so it's just a matter of time to see something like that occur. And so regardless of what this really was, on a practical side, you need to be prepared. Make sure you have plans and supplies if something like this does happen. All it takes is a flip of a switch. And something like this can cripple a country, can cripple a city. And again, you can see how government can control people once this happens as well. So do pay attention to the signs of the times and all the events and situations that are lining up to Bible prophecy. Be watchful, be alert, keep on praying and studying the Bible, and most importantly, keep your eyes on Jesus. Amen?